decided, hey, we're live, we're ready to go. So we are good. Technology's working. We're rolling. So good morning,
Super.
Rebecca.
Good morning to you.
And you're sitting outside. I'm actually in the house, and I'm sitting here in my sweatshirt because it's a little chilly this morning. And you're sitting outside in your sweatshirt and a blanket. It,
Well, I love sitting outside, but it is a little cooler this morning than I had planned. I think it's about 52 degrees this morning, which I love, but it required a little bit of an extra layer.
yes, I sat outside yesterday because it was so beautiful all day and paid the price all night. That was
Yes, we
such
did.
that was a horrible, horrible night for me. I love being outside. Those of you who don't know this, I have allergies really, really, really bad. And yesterday I'm thinking, man, I'm just gonna sit outside just for a little bit. And I really didn't have much trouble. And then by about the middle to the late afternoon, I started to sniffle a little bit. By last night, I was really a mess. And man, it's a sad deal because yesterday was so beautiful. Such a beautiful
Yes,
day.
it was. It's supposed to be another one today. So I think we're gonna switch spots and I will sit outside all day and you could sit in the house.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Rebecca, you have an amazing topic this morning. I'm really excited to dive into this topic. It's one that's very near and dear to me. What is your topic today?
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but
Actually, I can't hear it at all. I can hear it out the window, but no, it sounds good.
good. So today's topic is from average to excellence and the mindset around that and what stops us from moving forward.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
I
it's
put some things out on Facebook too that will actually have some action steps, some things that we can provide for people that help them move from average to excellence. I think it's very, very, very important on Monday Mindshift. If you're going to head out into the week, you're going to go out into the workspace, and you're going to, a lot of us sometimes get the workspace all confused. It's like, we go out there sometimes with such a negative mindset because it's a space where we're away from our families, we're doing things that maybe we don't necessarily want to do every day, and things of that nature. And the reality is, with the mindset that we go into the workplace with, that we go into the work week with, is going to determine a lot of how we take out of the week, and what we bring home to our families, and what we take home to our families. And so the mindset that we have going into the work week is so huge. It's so important that we grab a hold of what we're taking to the front, for the front lines of our workplace. With that being said, I do want to say that this topic, Rebecca, is absolutely amazing. I don't know if people are honest with themselves, and this is where we oftentimes can have we oftentimes miss things, right? If we're honest with ourselves, we don't want to be average. I hear people say it. It's like, oh yeah, I don't want to be, I don't need to make a lot more money. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. I don't need to be any more than just your average little business, just your average employee. I'm totally good with that. It's like they're trying to be humble in some sort of way. They're not being honest. I don't know anybody truthfully who doesn't want to make more money, who doesn't want to be more valuable, who doesn't want to serve more people, who doesn't want to love more people, who don't want to help more people. I honestly don't know anyone who doesn't want to do that, but I know a lot of people who don't know how to do that. They don't know how to go about doing that. Would you agree with that,
well,
Rebecca?
I do, and that your limiting beliefs of what you can do, um, your limiting beliefs of where you can go, and it's something that we've learned in our lives.
Mhm.
It's the scarcity of of getting out of that comfort zone. It's the scarcity of facing fears. Um, and and it keeps us held down. There's a lot of things that I was told as I was growing up, or just never pushed. And thinking about where I could go, that was not something I ever dreamed about. I never I thought for me, even just getting out of Greeley was pursuing excellence. And you know, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing, because Greeley was a great town. It just was not for me. Some people have lived there for years and absolutely love it, and love their life there, and that's fine, but that was not something I wanted. But limiting on where I could go past that was not something that I would ever think about. Or it was that scared mindset. I know when we moved to Omaha, I was thinking, oh man, I didn't even like going out of the house. And part of that just came from living in a small town and hearing the stories about Omaha. But I kid you not, I loved Omaha. I would move back to Omaha, but it's just that limiting belief that you have in your head
Hmm.
that I think stops a lot of people from moving forward.
Where's that limiting belief come from? Where's that belief that I'm just, you and I have talked about that. I'm just a line worker. I'm just a agronomist. I'm just a whatever. Where does that mindset come from that I am just a, and you kind of make light of it? Where does that come from, do you think?
Well, and like you said, you and I have talked about that, because when I was a server, which I did for 30 years and absolutely loved doing, but if somebody would ask me what I did, I would say, well, I'm just a server, because that's all I ever looked at it. Just waiting on other people, but I didn't look at it in the aspect of what I was providing for other people. I absolutely loved meeting my customers and talking to them. And, if somebody would come in a bad mood, it was a challenge, and I loved the challenge. But society and as a whole would look down on that career.
Hmm.
Just like when you're in high school and the teachers used to threaten, if you don't go to college, you're going to end up working at McDonald's. And I just think that is some of the most horrible thinking that we instill into our kids, is that. I think there's a way to push them to want to excel and grow, but there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. There's nothing wrong, you know, and we've said this many times on here, that it is a very good paycheck, and it's something that you can move up in, and they have great benefits. And if and I think we use that and we instill that in them, that if they are have to happen to work at McDonald's, that then they're starting to look down on themselves. They think it's a bad thing. Or if they choose to go and be a server for their life, um it makes them feel bad about themselves, because that's what we've always used as, well, if you don't excel in this, then you're just going to be this.
Hmm.
And I think that's where that just as comes from.
So, Rebecca, let me ask you a question. Is it possible as a server, because there's a lot of people who may be listening to this, they may watch the recording, they may jump into, some space where they watch this video at some point in time, and they're a server and they have that same feeling. Is it possible as a server to move from average to excellent as a server?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and it depends on what, I think everybody's idea of excellence is different. How we see it may not be the way somebody else sees it. And I don't know what your purpose in life is. I don't know where your goal in life is, of what that you need to do. But anything that you think that I can't grow, that I can't um, move up, anything that I think stops you from doing that is, I don't want to say a crutch, but anything that stops you from thinking that you're excellent and just thinking that you're average. I think that's where it comes from. You know, being
Yeah.
a server, like I said, I absolutely loved being a server, whether it was in the small town cafe or whether it was in the middle of Omaha, where I don't care where it was. When I got past the idea of I was doing a menial task and that I was doing something um that I thoroughly enjoyed, that I hoped my customers thoroughly enjoyed, but I was also providing a service. When I got past looking at it as being just a menial job to something that I was very great at and I valued very much, that was the difference.
Yeah. And that's in every position of life. It's everywhere.
Absolutely.
If you think this is where if you've ever read the book Think and Grow Rich, this is where this comes from. It's like the average people get average to less than average results. If you're thinking like average, you're going to get average to less than average results. And if you really want to be amazing in life, you got to raise your thinking. Everything starts with how you think. So if you go into the workplace this week believing, thinking, understanding that you are created on purpose for a purpose, and part of your purpose right now is where you are. It's where you are. It's what you're here for right now. And if you can go into the workplace with the mindset that says, I'm amazing at what I do, I am awesome at what I do. Maybe there are things that I can be doing better, but if I go into the workplace believing that this is part of my journey right now, then I'm going to take away from that things that are going to make me great in life, bring me above the average. You know,
Well, here's the thing. You know, we all there's times that you have to do in life, things that you have to do to just
absolutely.
survive. But if you are not happy there, there are ways to change that. And you know, Boone, good morning, Boone, made a statement on Facebook that he said it's the mindset of, especially, you know, this beautiful Monday morning, I have to go to work instead of I get to go to work. And there's a difference. And if you're getting up every morning and just dragging yourself and just grumbly, grumbly, grumbly all the way, then obviously that is a situation that you need to change and get to something that you don't wake up every morning grumbly, grumbly, that you wake up going, man, it is a beautiful morning. I get to go to work this morning. I get to go meet people
Yeah,
and do things that I love doing and
yeah,
and changing that. I mean, there you think about what causes that average mindset into an excellent mindset. Um, then you got to change it. I mean, and it's up to you to do it. That's the thing about it. It's up to do it. Nobody else can do it for you. You are the one, if you want to make changes in your life, then you are the one that have to make the changes.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I just looked up a couple of things here, Rebecca. I'm going to share it's a blog. It's a blog post that I've shared. It's from a coaching company from years ago that I used to follow. Haven't now for quite some time, but they really really helped me in the original days of my coaching career. Um, they there's this idea. Um, it's not an idea, it's actually science. It's the vibrations of thought, of vibrations of how you think and what it does into your life. And the thing about this body that was is created for us, and this mind body experience that everybody gets to have. It's we need to understand, and we need to embrace the fact that we are a three-dimensional being, right? We are a three-dimensional being. We have a body, we have a mind, and we have a spirit. And those are things that separate us from the all the other creatures on the earth. And it's one of those things that we get to experience things at a different level because of the fact that we have been created in God's image in such a way that we can understand vibrational thought at a different level. And that is so powerful for us as human beings when we can really truly embrace the laws of vibration and how it impacts us from the negative vibrations in life to the positive vibrations in life. It'll completely change the way you see everything. And when you understand that things like love, joy, peace, those types of thinking are elevated at the top of the vibrational chart. Things like blame, things like anger, animosity, things of that nature are down at the bottom. And it's at the bottom of the vibrational chart. And the law of vibration, if anybody wants to talk more about this, I'm more than happy to talk to them about it, because this is natural law. And everything around you is in a state of vibration, including you, including me. And everything around us works under these vibrations of law. And when you really can firmly grasp that we can change our results by changing how we think about people and how we think about others, and we think about serving others, we can totally change everything in our life by just changing how we see the world as a whole. There's an old saying out there that says, if you want to see the things change around you, then be the change. Be the change of the things you want to see. There's another saying out there that says, when you change the way you see things, the things you see change. And there's so much truth to that. There's so much truth to that. So it's one of those things I would challenge all of us to really challenge what we're putting into our thought process, challenge what we're bringing into our thinking, because it's so critical. It'll absolutely change your life when you change your thinking.
You know, ev no matter where you are in your life, no matter what point you're at, you think about, if you're married, do you want an average marriage, or do you do you want an excellent marriage?
Yep.
And I think there's so many times, and I do the same. I'm not saying that I'm exempt of this, but there's so many times that we let social media things influence what dictates our life. You know, we let we let other people's choices and beliefs dictate on how we feel about what we do. Um, when somebody puts on here, oh, my husband took me out last night and bought me flowers and pulled out my chair for me, and you look over at maybe your spouse and you're like, well, he hasn't done that for me in years, and their life is different than yours. And if you're looking at your spouse and thinking, oh, they're not a very good partner because they don't pull the chair out for me, and they don't, um instead of looking at them in a light going, he holds the door for me every time we go someplace, or he makes sure that the doors are locked before we go to bed at night, and looking at him or her in a more positive light, just like going to work. If you're at a spot in your life right now that you have to go to a job that maybe is not where you want to be right now, but you have to be, but still looking at that job going, as Boone said, I get to do this. I get to be a part of this right now. It's a step for me to get to where I would like to be someday, but I have to do this right now. So I can either make the best of it or I can make the worst of it. And it is your choice every morning. I put a post on the other day about choices. Every day you wake up, it's a choice. You have a choice of eating healthy, and you have a choice of eating the wonderful glazed donuts that I love so much. But it's a choice. And if I make the choice to eat the glazed donuts, my day is not going to be very good because of everything that brings on.
Hmm.
And there's a young lady that I used to work with that I love watching her posts because she has worked her butt off and she has lost quite a bit of weight. She says that she just feels tremendous, and she's done it by eating right, exercising, and she gets up every morning and she has a choice. I can lay here in bed underneath my warm blankets, all comfy, and not do the things that I need to do to build myself up and to help myself achieve what I want, or I can get up, I can go for a walk, I can make my breakfast for the week. And she has made that choice every morning, and to watch the journey that she's been on, it's just, I talked to her, or I sent her a message yesterday, and I'm so proud of her. She's done a wonderful job, but the dedication, that's a lot of it. Going from average to excellence, you have to be dedicated. You have to want it, because it's not going to be an easy ride. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. There's people that go back to college, and it takes, instead of 4 years, it may take them 8 years. But if it's taking them to where they want to go, then every day it's worth it. It may seem like it takes forever, but when they stand up there and they get to where they wanted to accomplish, it's worth it.
So a lot of people struggle with where they want to go, Rebecca. So if you struggle with where you want to go, that's your starting point. What do you
Yeah.
want out of life? What do you want? And it's a place I know you've struggled a little bit. Is, what do I want? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to
I've
be?
struggled I've struggled with that a lot because like I've said before, growing up, that is not something I ever thought about. I would I had short-term thinking. What am I going to do this weekend? What am I going to do, you know, here? Maybe I don't even think I went past a month when I would think about my future, or where I could go, what I could do. It was, what am I going to do to have fun this weekend? And until we started really getting into the leadership, these were things that I never even knew existed. These were ideas. These were, things in my head that I never knew I could accomplish, that I
Hmm.
could achieve, because I could not see myself doing that. And it took a long time. And I will guarantee you, still a huge work in progress, because sometimes I let that little voice in my head get back in there. And depending on how I focus on that determines how that affects me. Because sometimes if I focus on it a little too long, it really drags me down. And it's easy to get back to. That's the unfortunate part. It is so easy to get back to that thinking instead of the moving forward. There's days that I'm like, I'm done. I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. I'll just stay right here where I'm not happy where I'm at, where I don't feel good. And it's hard doing the great things. It really is. But it is accomplishment and the goal that is so worth it that you keep going. There's days, the 2 steps forward and 3 steps back type thing, or there are days that you're, or weeks that you're just, your momentum is awesome, and then there's something that happens in that life that sets you back a little bit, and you're like, I've got a choice at this fork in the road. I've got a choice. I can just continue and quit, or continue down this way and quit and not get any further, or I can push through this, pivot, change the things that I've done, and move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely critical that we do embrace that. You know, you mentioned I can choose to sit on the couch. I can choose to be uncomfortable, miserable. The reality is we are comfortable there. That's the problem. We get comfortable. We get comfortable. And until we get comfortable with the uncomfortable, we get comfortable pushing ourselves. We get comfortable pushing ourselves out of that comfort zone. We're going to be stuck. We're going to be absolutely stuck. You know, we work with businesses all the time that are in the same rotational pattern every single year. Every year they just rotate through the same process where they're making the same money, they're doing the same thing, they're just doing the same thing over and over and over. And they're just on this they're just on this, you know, this wheel of treading water barely. And we see all that. And when I challenge them as a coach to start changing the way they think, change their actions, change their outcome, change they're like, no, whoa, what do you want me to do? Whoa, I don't know if I can do that. The only way you get out of that rat wheel of life is to make changes, is to make changes. And the the easiest, yet seems to be the hardest, but it is truly the easiest thing that we can do, is to change the way we think.
Mm-hmm.
Change the way we think. But it seems to be so hard to break through. You know, people I see people all the time, or they'll come into a coaching call and like, well, it's this person's fault and that person, it's like this, and they don't realize it. But it's a mindset of, all of my changes are because somebody else is going to do something different, right? I am waiting as a business owner, I'm waiting as an entrepreneur, I'm waiting as a leader for everybody else to change, and then my life's going to be better. When everybody else does something different, my life will be better. Well, excuse me, that's not how it works. It works when you change first. It changes when you change up here first. When you start to change as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, when you change, everything else begins to change.
Yeah.
And that is the number one thing that I would challenge anybody listening to this with today. If you struggle with change, if you struggle with looking here as the starting point, reach out to us, because that's what we do. We help people through those changes. And I would also encourage you, if you don't want to go through a big coaching program, I am going to be going through Think and Grow Rich again. And it's a master class that I love teaching. I love teaching the book on Think and Grow Rich, because it is a amazing mind shift book. It gets you thinking differently. And that's what you have to be able to do. It all starts in here if you want to get out of average. If you're fine being average, then fine, just go be average. But I have never found anybody that wants to lay on their deathbed and say, "Man, I wish I could have been so much more average. I just wish I could have done so much less." I hear people all the time in their older age saying, "I wish I would have," and they do something different. And there are people who say they wish they would have spent more time with their families and more time with their spouses. Then do that. Be intentional. Okay? Be that. It doesn't mean your business has to suffer. It means your business has to be run differently. Okay? Things have to be different. So let's think about that. Let's think about how you create a great life that's above average, beyond average, to excellence. And it all starts up here. It all starts up here. If you really engage the mind first, everything else around you will start to fall into place. But stop looking outside of yourself for your success.
Yep.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen outside of you. So,
Well, the thing about it is you're going to take a path either way.
yep,
You're going to go down a path either way, and you get to decide, is it the path I want to go down to
yep,
growth, or is it the path I just want to be
yep,
comfortable?
yep, yep, that's right. So,
No,
okay.
and the hard thing about doing these Monday morning mind shifts is I have to listen to my own words because sometimes I make life more difficult than it needs to be, but on the choices that I make. So,
Well, that is life, right?
yeah.
We have to learn what that really means and learn to embrace the truth. And that's not always easy. So,
Nope. All
all
right.
right. Well, Rebecca, thank you for sharing this. We are launching a new program this week. Watch your Facebook, watch your email. We're launching a new program this week. I'm so excited about this. Many I've had people ask me in the last few weeks, what is it that you guys do? Well, we're business coaches, we're trainers, we are speakers. That's really what we do. The topic that we touch on is business success, personal success. We touch on the things that elevate the personal life in and through business. It's one of the things that I see as a huge struggle in our society today, and it's one of the struggles that I see that business owners have with employees. And yet, not all business owners have these struggles. Some are doing exceptionally well. Some are doing very, very, very well with their employees. They're getting great output. They're getting great input. Everything is working really well for them. Others, right across the road, just down the street, are not getting those outcomes. What's the difference? What's the difference? And we're going to be launching a course, Rebecca, about how to build a very, very successful business, how to build a business that will scale. And if you want to scale your business for a sale, um, people may want to sell their businesses one day, or they may want to transition them to their families or transition it to their employees. They're all different options in business, and we're going to be talking about how to help people transition or actually create a high value business that or have a high value life, period, a high value life, and have that option to one day step away with high value and create that legacy dream that they really, really want. So we're going to be talking about how to do that. I'm going to be bringing all of the different mentors, all the different certifications that we have, all the different programs that we've invested in, and we're going to be taking that out to everybody, Rebecca, and everybody's going to have opportunity to be a part of this. So really looking forward to that. Rebecca and I were just putting the final touches on it yesterday, and we're excited to be bringing this program out to you.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Looking forward to it.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, all right, my friends, God bless. Make it really, really amazing. And we'll see you back here next week with another Monday Mind Shift. Be
All
well.
right, everybody. Have a great day.